Hello, hello. Hope you're good. Hope you're ready to talk about the book. I have thoughts or not. We'll get to that. But how you doing? And also please confirm that you can actually hear me. Just making sure that the mic is working. Hello, 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 hello. I don't know how much I have to contribute today. I love this author, this book, this world, story says in this world, etc. Shrug. I mean, you will probably contribute more than I. Just saying. Finished Age of Empires right before this. Nice, nice. Hello. Behold, I'm Tufty and I have returned. Hello. Hey ho. I DNF'd it at 42%. I knew you did. I didn't know at what point exactly. But you will still be able to share your point of view of it, and maybe you can stay here for like the spoilers and everything. Um, but everyone, whether you have liked the book or not, please summarize it in just like a few words or a sentence or something. Please summarize it, whether it's like the genre or anything. I wish I was as efficient as you because I don't know if I have played video games for about a year. Yeah, I need to. I haven't played video games in a few weeks. Um, and I miss it. I will play some maybe tonight. She was just done with it. Yes, we support the DNF. We do. In this house, we do. I'm interested in everyone's point of view. Yeah, same. The reason why I'm saying that is that please let me know what you thought of the book, like overall thinking, etc. But the thing is, when I started that book, I did not know that it was, at least to me, it felt more like, I don't know why I was not aware of that, more like mystery, thrillery, whatever, than actually fantasy. And it's not something I disliked, but that's something that I was for some reason not expecting, which is so dumb of me because it's probably written on Goodreads and everywhere else. Probably should have gotten it from the synopsis as well. I was just like not expecting that. And also, so yeah, I would say it's more of a like historical mystery fantasy. That's how I would like summarize it a little bit. Tracking down crazy cult murderer. Yep. Overwhelmingly confident human wants to rule the world of magic and angels and has the one ring to rule them all. My precious. um, you got something there. You got something there. I was so bored, there was nothing keeping me interested and didn't give a shit about the characters. So we will get into that because I need everyone's point of view on that. Because I did enjoy Fatma. Um, yeah, City, particularly City, what a fabulous character. But I also felt like for me, I had like a hard time sometime distinguishing. That's how you say it, like one character from the other, which kind of made me have the I don't know if you remember, but like I will call it the third book syndrome now. You know how much I loved Fundricide 1, Fundricide 2, and then Fundricide 3. I just couldn't go through it. I had that with this book. So so I did finish the book. but I don't know what the hell I've read. Because I had such a hard time remembering things and keeping them in my head. Um, but yeah, no spoilers. Just saying, I didn't have that book, but no spoilers. I won't say anything. That's why I'm calling the third book syndrome. But let me go back to the comments. Um, the Cures of the Detective Fantasy strikes again. Steampunkish mystery in Egypt. Yep. Badass character in alternate history. Steampunk hero tries to wrangle magic people. No. Yeah. I think I said when Larissa was thinking of DNFing, the pace is pretty consistent. So if you don't like it, by then it's not going anywhere different. Yeah. Yeah. When do we get the star score segment? Very keen to see where the flow of opinion lies now. We can do it now. You can do it now. So even people who are here and don't want spoilers can overall like get an overall idea of the rating of the books. We know Larissa has DNF'd it, but Larissa, have you given it like a star system, like out of five, even though you have DNF'd it or not? I'm curious. Yeah, I would be curious to see. We can usually we do that a bit later with like the Copilot system, but we can go through the Copilot system later again. No worries. But yeah, I would be curious to see where everyone stands. And don't worry, no spoilers. I definitely don't think it's a book to fly through. No, in one day. But if you don't like the world and the characters, there's kind of no point to reading it. That's the thing. So spoiler free as usual. When we get into spoilers, I will warn you, and there will be like a banner at the bottom of the screen. So don't worry about that. The thing is that I found the whole like world interesting, and like I was somehow captivated by what was happening, by the world description and everything. But I think I was just like I'm a character driven reader, if that makes sense. And I was pretty bored with the characters, not the world, which is like, I mean, good, bad, whatever. But I was not interested in any of them. And I lost interest pretty early on. And also the fact that I was reading the chapter and then I would like just grab a glass of water or play with Munya a little bit and then get back to the book and I would be like 5 minutes after finishing a chapter, wait, what happened? Like, I'm pretty sure I forgot 80% of what was in the book. And I don't think it is the book's fault. I just think that probably my mind was way too busy at this point, but also I was not captivated. I was not captivated. And I need to care for the characters to actually be captivated by a book. So yeah, I'm sorry if I disappoint anyone. My verdict is love the world, like the characters, didn't care for the plot. I would summarize it that way as well. Love the world, except that I think I liked the plot just a bit more than the characters. Just because I was like kind of surprised by the plot, because I don't know why, but I was not expecting some kind of mystery, which is dumb of me again. Um, but I loved, um, yeah, the plot. I feel like the plot was not like the strongest plot I have ever read about, but I was still intrigued a little bit more than caring about the characters. So I took like some notes because I couldn't remember for the life of me things. Um, again, I'm going through them. Um, yeah, I wrote. Yeah, so the plot was okay. Characters were nope, and the world was a yep. Yeah. Haven't read this one. No. I mean, are you here for like just the overall thoughts, or you don't care about the spoilers? You will still be there. But yeah, there are just so many books we can read in a month. So yeah, I hope you read other amazing books. Three-ish. Okay, interesting. I found the short stories a bit too short and sharp, but I loved how they integrated into the main story, which was much better paced for me. I have a confession to make. I did not read the short stories just because you know me all, like you know me, and Cleo's gonna be like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I read it like I have not read it today or yesterday. Like I started like at the beginning of the week, something like that. So reading that book in a week is like decent. Um, but I just wanted to make sure I would go through the book, and I did forget about the short stories. But I will listen to the short stories first because they are on script, which is always a plus for me, and also because Larissa, you say you enjoy them more than the story, so I'm still curious to see if that's going to be the same for me or not. No, I haven't. For me to do that, I have to read more than halfway. Yeah, I really enjoy my time with this one, so I was 4 stars all the way. Nice. I'm happy. I think I won 4 stars, which is my lowest rating for this author, which says something, I think. Yeah. I mean, it says that it's your least favorite book written by them, which is absolutely fine. You cannot love every single book by the same author. Can you? Even I, like Shannon Maguire, sorry, I think I screamed. I'm sorry for that. Like, I love her books, but like the first one in the Up and Down world, like the meteorite series, I was not the biggest fan of it, and that's fine. That's fine. The badass word fighting scenes were just yeah, there were some pretty good fighting scenes, but even though there were like some of these scenes, including in the book, some tensions, I did not feel them for some reason. Like, I did not feel like something was at stake. And I don't know. It's probably a me issue. Needs to be- oh, Tufty is not? Wait. I did not know that. Wait. Oh no, I think they said they didn't. Tufty, you said last time that you did not want to be, right? Please let me know if you want, because I think Tufty said last time that they did not want that. Please confirm. Did I seriously just have to approve the world ass? Oh, come on. You had to? Oh, interesting. Interesting. I mean, you got the superpowers, so I mean, Um, in Clear's Prince the other day, we were talking about it. If all the short stories were all represented in the book, there was some doubt about the angel one, but that definitely got mentioned. I noticed. Okay, okay. I don't think I would be able to answer that because I have not listened to the short stories. But yeah, interesting. Good point. Just barely got a 5 star. Ooh, I like historical fiction, so I love that aspect of the book, and I loved Ahmed. He was great, the Sobek follower. Yeah. The thing is that I there were many, I think, good written characters in a way that, like, they were. I don't know how. Like, honestly, I don't know how I feel about some of the things there, because I felt like the characters were like there was some kind of repetitiveness, not in between them, or maybe yes, but like more in their own actions. You know how in books you usually see them evolving, there is like some kind of development or whatever. I felt like it was way less, or maybe I just haven't noticed because I did not care enough. That might also be a possibility. But yeah, definitely there were some points where Ahmed was like, I was like, yeah, yeah. And also talking like I loved also I know it has not especially something to do with your like comments, but something also that I was not expecting is that a lot of like oh yalla and things like that, words in other languages. And I found it fun, especially because I was listening to the audiobook, which helped me actually go through the book. And I really love that. I really love that. And also, it wasn't, I don't, it's not that common, but it wasn't, you know how sometimes you have some dialogues happening in other languages, whatever, and it just doesn't make sense because then you have someone actually translating it or explaining what it meant and blah blah. Here it just felt like part of the thing that worked for me. So that worked. I remember that detail. That actually worked for me. um where was I? Okay, I didn't like how Fatma was treating the new female agent. They, yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. We might get more in details regarding that when talking about like spoilers and everything. But there were like some behavior that were a bit like I don't want to say out of character, but they were like, I'm not sure about that. Oh, they came around to each other. Did anyone feel lost who didn't read the stories? I'm curious. I feel like they were nice cameos if you knew to look for them. I would say that I felt like I was lost, but again, I might not be the right person to answer to that just because I felt like I was reading and not remembering what I was reading about. Um, was it because I actually was lost? I don't know. If anyone else can answer, I don't think with the discussion is fun. It's always fun. Always fun. Thank you for joining us, even though you haven't read it. I agree. There were some Easter eggs that told me in more when I know. See, maybe I should have listened to the short stories before. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think the same person read that Djinn, but in Master of Djinn, I felt more about the narration. I did the immersive reading thing. Okay, so I actually enjoyed the narrator and what they did with it. Uh, but again, it did not keep me like concentrated on the story. But I actually enjoyed the narrator, to be honest. So it's usually coming in very hot at the very end. Does that mean it was me that was the last one to complete the book in time this time around? Maybe because I did finish it like when, not today. I think I finished in between the night of like Thursday to Friday, um, or like Wednesday to Thursday. No, probably Thursday to Friday. Um, so yeah, I'm not. It wasn't. Oops, sorry. I just jumped. Let me go back. So no, I was not the last one. Not this time. That's a spammer thing, correct? I asked what a spanner was, and then yeah, I remember. You did not want it. Okay, good. Or is my use of bad button getting less naughty? No worries about it. The mods will approve it, but yeah, that's weird that ask got needed to be approved. We had to approve it. That's why I noticed you didn't have the wrench. Okay, that's weird though. Why? But thank you for doing it. Had to approve it. I wonder if the ours let us know. Let's get Taffy to try all naughty words. I don't know if is like that, if that's within the scope of this conversation for sure. Having read Hub, I have come to realize I personally like characters-led stories. I do not like fast-paced, action-packed stories. So I'm worried about Ryan Hill coming up soon. So that one is the June one. So for this month, where is the book? Can I see? Yes. I mean, we haven't even finished talking about this book, but yeah. So the next one is this one, The Ninth Rain, and then we have Ryan Cahill of Blood and Fire for June. But we shall see. We shall see. You might actually enjoy it. You might hate it. Who cares? All opinions are welcome. This was nicely paced for me, though. Did everyone enjoy the pacing, or not? I know some of you did not, but I think that the pacing was okay. But I think my main issue was the way it was done in a way that I don't think the pacing was wrong or too slow or anything, but the way it was written did not, like, when it was tense or whatever. I didn't feel tense when there was like a fighting scene. I didn't feel like anyone could die. Like, I didn't feel scared. um I don't know. In that case, if my use of using a pronoun perhaps, so I do need to be for dropping the bottom. For they can, like, they can approve it, but no worries, no worries. That you could try the full first. I think it's free. Yes, issue send out for Cahel's newsletter. Yes, maybe like 90 pages. I don't know if that's yeah, that's a novella's length. So yeah, and you get it for free. Absolutely. I sometimes lost track of some of the characters, but I think that's more because the setting wasn't familiar enough to more that I could separate some folks out, names of things and people blended. Okay, that's the thing I meant by some repetitiveness. So I know you all mentioned like some like Fatma, Ahmed, or even City. Did you enjoy the characters in their whole? Like, did you like? What was your favorite part of the stories? Like the characters. I know for Cleo it was like the world, then the characters, then the plot. Which part of, maybe that's gonna be like more spoilery, but like no spoilers. Which part of the book did you enjoy more? Was it like the storyline, anything? I don't know if there is like anything else we could talk like spoiler free, because I feel like we could actually dive into spoilers soon. But I had that, and it's not that the names were too similar for me or whatever, because I don't know. I feel like the repetitiveness. I think it was a writing style for me. So I don't know. It felt like the narrator's accent kept slipping, but I don't know if that's just me imagining it and that's the natural accent. I honestly don't know. I don't know. If anyone knows or has an opinion on it, please share. Can't believe you broke the tradition of bringing it in the last day. I mean, there are always like exceptions, but also because today I spent 3 hours at my grandparents, and I also went to an appointment, so I knew it would just be impossible for me to read it today. I would have been maybe able to read 100 pages today. That's it. So I had to break the tradition, but I might do that for the next one. Or maybe not. It's over 500 pages. I actually have read the full, and if I'm honest, it put me off reading more of his work. I assume they were all one month fast paced, but yes, I don't know for sure on that. Yeah, it's okay. You also don't have to read all the books. Um, I don't know. Maybe I think I will enjoy it, but again, I'm not sure. That story made me excited for the rest of the series. Okay. Mm, unpopular opinion here. I think it worked if you're here, or maybe they had to approve it. Why did I think you loved Hop? No, I think Jess loves like a few, like Nightshade and Heart of the Pack, but not the biggest fan of the story. I don't know. I mean, I love Night Eyes, not Nightshade, and the Fool. Okay, and enjoy the weird ass serpents in Ship of Boredom. Someone just passed my. Okay. Playing with friends, I guess. That's weird. How could I forget your blasphemous opinions on live shows? I need to get to it to have an opinion. For me too. I felt like even the plot was like I wrote it somewhere. Um, where is it? Um, like I feel like the same thing happened several times in just like a slightly like different way, if that makes sense. Um, every time with the imposter and things like that. So I felt like the repetitiveness within the plot line, the characters, and the different like twists or whatever, I felt like it was a bit too repetitive for me, and therefore maybe a bit too long of a book. See, that's I think that book would have been really awesome as a novella. I thought the pacing was good, but agree I could have been a bit shorter. Yes. And the thing is that it's all about like what you like the most as well. Like I do love very slow paced books, but I love fast paced books as well. Like it depends on the story and the way it's written, etc. So I don't really have a preference, I would say. Um, but here there was something that just did not work for me, sadly. Also ships and yeah, those books are long. We are on polar opposites there. I'm adoring Hob. Hob has been a revelation regarding my reading taste. I'm surprised to be learning new things about me, even in 2023. We keep learning about ourselves. You know, that's good. I want desperately to love Hob, but I need way more plot in long books. I think I've recently discovered I like horror. Amazing at all the years of age, I didn't know nothing. No, it's just like we evolve as well. Like we change and the taste changes as well. I mean, I still gave Ship 1 3 stars. Not a bad rating. No, not a bad rating. It's still like average. It was the unfamiliar setting, the unusual names for things, for example, that was more baffling than two similar characters. I didn't have visual images for many of the side characters, however. Yep, that too. That too. That's a good point. Ryan Cahill's books get better the further into the series you go. That's the thing. Like I love when that is happening when you're actually already enjoying the first book. But if you're not enjoying the first book, it's always like annoying when people are telling you like, yeah, but the last book is so amazing. It's a 5 star, but the first book was just like okay because you still need to go through that. But that's the vibe it's giving me. That the more you know about the world, the more attached you get to the characters, the more involved you will feel. Yeah, I really am looking forward to that series. But I especially love these discussions we all have because I get to know everyone's reading taste and if I like the thing you all love, hate. Yeah. So then when someone tells you, oh, I hated that book for that reason, blah, 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 as you are getting to know them a bit more, you kind of know if you might enjoy the book or not. So, screaming, Sasha is part of the bag. Thank you. I need to read about that so I can understand where it's coming from. I have an idea because I have read the first one. It was such a long time ago. I need to reread it. So I kind of, I mean, I think I know who Heart of the Pack will be, Oh, maybe I'm completely wrong, but yeah. Interesting about the low page count, I felt it got to a huge amount in just 400 pages. I wanted more time spent on them, going from scene to scene. In that respect, it felt, oh, really? It felt fast for you? Interesting. Interesting. For me, it felt very slow, but probably because I was not enjoying it that much. At risk of repeating myself, I did like how things felt more fleshed out in the novel versus the whole short stories. I like that it was spread out a little more. This was a surprisingly good read. Okay, now I'm really regretting not having read um, the short stories. Yep. I'm a character driven reader, so I love Robin Hobb. Yeah, that. I definitely have a lot to say about everything but this book. That's okay. We're gonna get into spoilers because we've already been talking for 30 minutes, but no worries. Are you at the most recent one yet? I'm glad I'm collecting them on Kindle because I don't think I'm strong enough for the huge ones. I like that. That's one of the detail I think I actually enjoyed. I don't know why. It felt like very like personal and very like, I don't know, well thought, I would say. I think like I found like the suit really interesting. My gosh, I couldn't talk. Like I like that point. I like that point. I felt like it was like a good thing that was actually included. I love Fatma suits. Yep, exactly. Anyone who can pull off a bowler is exceptional to me. Yep, that's true. Now I need to know who Sasha thinks Heart of the Pack is. I mean, there are not many characters in the first book, so I think you might probably have an idea, especially with the ending of the first book. No? Do I remember it? I don't even know the name of the character. I just have like that picture of that person with the dog, but I might be completely wrong. I'm probably completely wrong. I liked Fatma and Hadia finding clues and solving the mystery the most. I had to check Fatma's work partner's name. Yeah. I Yeah, that's the thing. Like it was mystery, and I was. It's so hard to put my feelings into words regarding the book. I think I might need to listen to the short stories. Just finish the Exiles up a War of Ruin. Yeah. They spend a bit of time at each scene and then travel quickly to the next scene, spend a bit time there. So it felt fast in that I jumped quickly from scene to significant scene. Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, but I think that might have been also the issue for me now that you are like mentioning this. Because for instance, like in I know I have an unpopular opinion here, which is like a positive one, but for most people it's negative. I do love when characters are actually walking somewhere. Like we had a lot of walking in Malice, the fifth one, the Fallen series. We had a lot of walking in um, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and things like that. And I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it because that's also when there is not much happening that you can see the skills of the writer, of the author, and see how they can keep you intrigued when nothing is happening, just with the characters walking around and having conversations, getting to know each other, or getting their strategy straight or whatever. I do love that. So when you jump from one thing to another, I'm kind of becoming less interested in it because I just feel like it's going, there is no link, like if that makes sense. There is not a link in between things, which there is, of course. But for me, that I think that's actually what didn't work for me. Maybe. No worries, no worries. I hope you're good. We're just still talking without spoilers about the book, so don't worry. I agree. I agree. 100%. I agree. That was one of the things that really, I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm so excited to get into that series. Like, it seems like a lovely human too. Yeah. I'm starting to think the short story prequels have really enhanced my experience. That's good. Even if, I think it's good. Even if that's a reason why you enjoy the book more than others, like, it's good. It's good. I enjoyed this one, but didn't love it. It was a 3.5, by no means a bad rating. No, like, honestly, like, for me, 3 is not a bad rating. It's when it's like 2, whatever. I'm just like, oh, okay, you did not enjoy the book. But 3 is like, I had an okay time with it. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it, but not really anything to complain about. So it was okay. You know, I'm a completionist in sequence, so there was no way I could read things out of order. I respect that. He's such a great person. He's on his Discord all the time, interacting with all of his readers. He seems like that's how I got interested by his books and everything, because of the way he was with his community. I love the heart of the pack thing because I get it. I don't get it. I always forget. Literally, everyone has a Discord log. Maybe after Of Blood and Fire, I'll see. I love it. So to join. Yeah. I love Discord. It can just be overwhelming when you are on too many, but yeah. Um, Fatima, Hadia, and Siti were all fabulous. When Siti reappeared amongst the short stories, I was super delighted. Siti was a great one. It was a great addition. You like walking, that's it. I do like it. I don't know. I do like it. Sasha saying journey before destination without realizing it. Wait, what did I say? I said what? What did I say? What did I say? Journey before destination. I don't know what I I love the traveling, I love the traveling. I love the traveling. What have I said? I'm sorry. Journey before destination. The whole, like, before getting where they're supposed to be. Like, I love that. Yes, the walking pace of Assassin's Quest is just brilliant. It really takes you along the journey and keeps a consistent pace without jumping around. Yeah, the thing is that I love that in the majority of the time. There were a few books where I was just like, okay, I don't care because there is nothing happening. Like, the author actually did not do anything special during those precious time, but I just love it. I love it because there is actually a lot of walking in life. It's actually very, like, accurate. um and I feel that's always when you get to know everyone and when they get like this strategy straight when they're talking about it, and also when they get separated, so you can actually feel how anxious they are because they don't know what's happening to the others on the other side of the river, of the land, or whatever. So you can actually feel that they are stressed and not just fighting and trying to survive, during a battle and everything. You have time to get in their heads, and I like it. Um, part will be Shadesmore. Why is my nose itchy? Okay. Oh no! A bringer as well. I gave this a 5 star. I really ended up loving this. I just worked. It just worked for me so well. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you. It just was not the case for everyone. Nice. We're really divided on this one. Steampunk and familiar setting usually aren't my favorite things. I went into the story a bit weary, if I'm honest, but I have come out of it quite ecstatic. But I don't feel nourished whole. Whole. Yeah. Um, yes, so that's, if I'm right, that's a series which I'm not sure I will continue. But there is like book. Um, oh no, it's not. It's actually like you have the prequel, like the three short novellas of five, three, two. I can, and then the book. It's not like a series of actual novels so far. Um, we're still talking about a Master of Djinn, right? The novellas. Or about the author. It's, yeah, the author has other books, I think. Ring Shout, which is also a popular one. The Black God's Drums, etc. So there are other books. The walking scenes in AQPs are the story scenes that let characters be introduced and formed properly for me, which I liked a whole bunch. I simply adore that piece. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, so I will put the banner for spoilers now. So feel free to share spoilers, so I can just go through the comments and just make sure that no one is here for the spoilers if they do mind spoilers. But there's gonna be spoilers in probably 5 minutes, so you've been warned. If you're here till now, thank you for joining us. I hope we made you wanna pick up the book or not. And if you're still here, well, share all your spoilers in the comment section. Just gonna go through the last comments. Um, Simply adore the piece. Yeah. The steampunk was really well done, though. I think it feels gimmicky in other books, but it worked really well for me in this one. I, the thing is, I want to agree with it, but I don't know because I did not enjoy the book that much. So it feels like very. I feel like I have nothing actually to say about this book. Um, but I don't know. Mind you, I also read the books at a very slow pace as a consequence. I don't want to read no fast. No worries. Three on the page is walking down the one roof. The one road, the one roof. I agree. I really like the steampunk. It wasn't too heavy handed. Okay, so you agree with it. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Not that I disagree or anything. I just don't really have an opinion on it. Yes, agree. I don't know whether it's the Arabic setting in combination with Simpak, but it was just so much more interesting. I think that world was interesting. The way it was, you know, introduced to us and everything and developed. I felt like it was interesting. I very much doubt I would have read this book without the Howling Pack Book Club. So I thank you all for that because I clearly enjoyed myself a whole lot. Oh, I'm so happy, Tufty. I'm so happy. I'm happy. I think you also had special interest, possible obsession with Egypt, though. Um, yes, I do. Also, Black God's Drums and Ring Shout, both standalone stories. Can't remember drums, but Ring Shout is another sort of alternate history and is delightfully weird. We love weird. I spent a year living in Libya, next door to Egypt, back when I was. See? I was like, wait. Oh. When did folks know who the big bad, the imposter really was? I don't think I knew. Let me check. So, like, I had to take notes. Um, uh, like, also all the names of the different jinns and whatever. So, I honestly cannot remember them all. Like, I know there was like some Siwa at one point. It was like so many names, I feel like, but also maybe it's just because I did not remember them. It felt like they were outnumbered. I don't know. Um, uh, I don't know where it was. Uh, I cannot remember. Wasn't it when they actually got after the imposter or something? Or maybe that's when it was actually revealed. When Fatma was with. Wasn't it? Yeah, Siva. Siva, the half one, right? Isn't it like no, wait. No. No, City was half. Oh my gosh. Telling you, I saw like there are things I'm telling you, that book had a weird thing on me. Um okay, is there gonna be a new book at some point? Because then I want something done with the idea that these gods of ancient Egypt are like what Sauron or reincarnate. Oh, you mean for that series? I don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be a second one. It has not been announced yet. I did guess the imposter just after the halfway mark, but I didn't guess the full reveal. See? And were you happy with the full reveal or not? I'm also curious about that. Right when they thought it was a dumbass white boy, I was like, lol, there's no way he's that motivated. I know who it is. Lol. You really didn't know? Yeah. Camping point when definitely suspected before they found the hair, and when they immediately jumped to the Alexander conclusion, I was sure Alexander lol names, yeah. I had an obsession with Egypt when I was in junior high, so I love the atmosphere of this book. I feel like a lot of people got in that phase, or at least like maybe like people like us. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's a fascinating time, and people and culture and everything to read about. Like I feel like they were a pretty like interesting. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the name, but the whole thing. Yes, me too. When Fatma started getting suspicious of where the obvious clues were pointing. Yes. Or your Fatma is smarter than that. That's why, yeah. That epilogue with the lighter was priceless. I don't know why I loved that so much. But it hit me in the feels. And oh, really? That's good. That's really good. I love when books do actually do that. Do actually do that? Do that to us. Oh. When the suspected brother of the murders can remember names again, I started thinking, I bet it's the sister. Ooh, that's when you did. I honestly, I cannot remember. I just remember that they were like continuing to find new clues or whatever, and Ahmed said that he was still like that he was going somewhere. uh, you know, I feel so bad because usually I remember pretty much not everything, but more. Uh, I feel so bad. Yeah, and no other names. Fatma Sidi, Siwa Ahmed, uh, Abigail. Uh, wait, what other names have I written? Yeah, Alexander, but we already mentioned them. The Nine Lords. Um, do I have more like Zagros, and who send them to Rami, the the bookseller. Um, what are the names? I think that's all the names I have written here. I think that's it. Like on my notes, that's pretty much it. Um, uh, yeah, that's all I remember. Jin Zagros was very excellent, and I like. Yeah. I love the name also Zagros. I'd never heard that name before, and I really love it. Yes, absolutely. Zagros fan club. Okay, we do agree on that. We do agree on that. Oh, I don't know if you're still here, Larissa, but have you met Zagros when you stop the book? I think it was like a bit further on. Love Zagros too. I was hoping there was going to be more with the gin in the jar that they found at the beginning. That was a bit of a letdown. Okay, so you would have wanted more regarding that. I think it would have been like a good thing to actually add to not just talk about the plot and etc., but develop a little bit more outside of it, if that makes sense. Yes, definitely knew the emphasis on the initial. It was quite heavy-handed. Yeah, but the thing is that sometimes, like, if you follow um, those kind of like mystery books, but also mystery like TV shows or whatever, when there are too many clues that it is actually that person, it might be like someone dropping the clues for you to think it's that person. Um, so yeah. um, yes, right? I mean, city is half, so I would say yes. At least that's what I understood and remember, and I've written that somewhere. Um, when was it? I think I wrote it somewhere when like Fatma and Sidi were like chasing the imposter or whatever, and that's when we discovered that Sidi was half, right? Or am I mixing up with something else? I think that's when it happened. I thought the friends being involved made sense and fit. Okay. I would say that majority of the time it does. Uh, so I don't really have a complaint about that. So I would say yeah. I think that if I don't really have a complaint about it, it means that it felt like organic in some way. So yeah, also a good point. Definitely something lingering there. I didn't feel Croc that escaped from the impost as well in that fight scene. My god, the Georgian wanting to be left alone until humans all die when he can enter the world was really relatable. Um, just let me sleep. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. I'm always here for God's walking the earth and meddling, please meddle in human affairs. I love it so much. Yes. And also, when you wanted to know more about like the gin in the jar and everything, uh, was it like from the gin's perspective, or was it regarding something specific? Ahmed Akat Lord Sobek was such a fun character too. Yeah, yeah. All right, he hands over the crocodile thing, so maybe Fatma becomes the new Sobek. There are many things I do not remember. Oh, I did not like grass or whatever. See, I wonder if this forgetting is because things moved on without cementing names, places, and scenes in mind. I get that cement from Hob, but this book, that's the thing. That's because I didn't have enough time to spend with them, I would say. Um, so I don't know, maybe I did not feel like a strong connection to any of them, and I need to feel that in order to remember who they are and things like that. With the old gods, clearly. I do love when stories do include like old gods, etc. And also at one point, I know it makes sense, but when we first read about like angels, I was like, wait, what? Am I still reading the same book? It felt so weird to me out of the blue. It makes sense, absolutely. But Sid is relative, who seemed to sort of know everything. She was lovely, and I wanted way more of her. Yeah, kind of nice. My forgetting is because of that might be one of the reasons. Have already forgotten a lot of the boom, even though I of the book, even though I really enjoyed reading it. I'm just here reading the comments like, oh right, that happened. Oh no, I remember. That's the thing. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I mean, me for not enjoying it and not remembering it. But I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't remember things. You know, there was like a book like I think it was about the Hobbes books, when they were doing the read along thing. Like everyone like Becca, was it like Ashley who joined in? Cody, Jade, I cannot remember who was, but they were all like having a conversation about it, and they all remembered completely different scenes, and they were like, "Have we read the same book?" No worries. That's why I wanted more pages rather than less. Yeah, doesn't ring a bell. Okay, makes sense. So you read before meeting them. Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. The book is Djinn, the grumpy one. Love a grumpy character. It's the librarian Djinn. That was the name. Djinn in the Jar was badass and funny too. It's a librarian Djinn, yeah. Endless side quests in this world. More short stories. I want to know this thing. This is a curious thing that I don't know if I would read more. This is more that this isn't my usual thing that I would gravitate towards. Same, same, same. Okay, maybe it's time to do like. Do you have anything else to add to it? I feel like I'm not really conducting this conversation because I just don't know what to say. But I would ask you: Were you happy with like the ending, or did you want something else? Um, to happen at the end or to happen throughout the story. We talked a bit about everything. I just don't really have like a strong opinion on anything. So if you have anything to add, please do. I think some of you might have filled in. Um, Let me check. Yes, we're gonna go through the co system and Google Sheet. So that might help with wrapping up this conversation because honestly, I don't know. John Carpenter was at the end this year. Lol. He popped up a few times and Fatma was surprised that City knew him. I think. I don't know. A story from Zagra's point of view. Oh, see? Okay. So you know. Checking the books they requested at them and Hadia having up book catching games made me laugh. That's the kind of details as a book reader you kind of enjoy. He was the boss. Wait, who are we talking about now? How have I forgotten things? Come on, brain. Who are we talking about? Hannah mentioned, I'll remember things because I finish it. Hey, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, the trump card guy? I don't know who you were talking about, but when I will start ninth grade, let me pick right. Leave it until the last week. Maybe the last show is gonna be like the June 3rd, the third, so the first Saturday of the month. So it's a bit earlier than now. So maybe. the book again already. I think it wrapped up nicely, but he could also easily write more if he wants to. But in another book, do we agree? We did not want something longer, right? The whole taking over of the well, the Jin part was a boring plot. Okay, so you actually did not enjoy that, but you did enjoy the mystery kind of thing. Um, but oh my gosh, a fly. Um, okay, okay. I enjoyed the ending, but major characters like those at the summit were very underused until they came in to do some magical insta healing. Yep, yep. I wrote something about that. Where was the summit? Um, where was the summit? I wrote it. I know I wrote it. Um, where was it? I cannot. That's one on like the imposter also like messed up like on purposely thing. So it was like the peace summit or whatever, and then everyone was like not at peace on the other side because of the imposter. Telling you, I read it without reading it, but I really love the section where the big bad nine are all will take back this world for you, and the Jinn are like, yeah, not really interested. I love how they were like kind of nonchalant, whatever. Um, minding their own business, not wanting to, mingle with the humans. I mean, when they didn't want to. Not the boss, but someone Fatma kind of checked in with, I guess. I don't know if I can pull this one out of my brain. I don't know. It all felt suitably high stakes with massive mechanical Jinn and portals. Yeah, like the metal Jinn, things like that. With all the big boy Jinn doing all the fighting because the puny humans were all useless. Yep. I loved a different aspect of that. Yeah, but I still have questions, I think. Yes, even Jin were like, whoa, these characters are a bit over the top. Yes, I do agree with that. The imposter was there at the summit to steer things up and make war for profit. That's the thing. Okay, so I remember it. Um uh like messing up everything on purpose to, yeah, I do remember that. At the summit the imposter looks at what her name is that explained. Wait, what? At the summit is that explained? What do you mean? Is that explained? I'm not sure I understand. My brain is having a moment. The ambassador is too, especially the German ambassador. He was hilarious. There were some behavior there, some like way of talking, way of acting, and everything. You kind of like. I like. There were like actually lots of like little funny moments. I feel in this book. Um, but even like there are random things that I do remember at the book. Like at one moment, maybe it's because of the audiobook. Um, like when someone's like, coffee, don't you know what coffee is? Coffee, do you know what it is? Well, I do remember like random things, but not like I, I I I don't know. The imposter behind the mask basically looks at the real imposter. Yes, I guess we can explain everything away with the magic being you see what you expect to see. Yeah, with the what was the word they used? The not illusion, but I used the word in my synopsis here. Um, how was it called? Uh, oh, that spell had a name. No, then magic had a name, like that illusion thingy thingy happening. Fatima had Abigail explain that one at one point using the illusions on her co-conspirators, so that was nicely done to erase us away from suspicions of Abigail. Okay, because during the summit I was already. Oh, you were? What gave her away for you to already suspect her? I don't think I did suspect her at that point. I think it was after. For me, it was. Uh, I mean, it kind of was at the same time, but a bit after. Like, I think it was after that, after the summit, after like when City, we discovered that City was half, blah blah. I think that's just after that. I was like, ooh, ooh, but I'm not sure. Yeah, the audio. There were a few things that I paused the audio to reread just the book because the narrator wasn't great with humor. Yeah, that's why like random things I do remember, but that's probably because of the audio, and then maybe more important things I don't remember. And to be fair, I listened to the book at 1.2, 1.5, so pretty slowly, just because I felt like it was um, pretty unusual in a way that I'm just not familiar with that world. So I read it pretty slow. But yeah, so the old how the big bad explain the mechanics of the plot in a big conclusion data dump. Yep. Always suspect the ones that we're not supposed to suspect. Okay, that's apparently a nice strategy to have. But let me share my screen so we can start. Um, Yay! Wait, do I really want to be that big? No, I might not want to be just there. I might want to be. Where shall I be? Okay, I'm gonna be there. I put myself somewhere else. Okay. So let's go through the whole thing. We got 4 answers. Um, she had that whole rant about feminism, etc. at the beginning to show she had the passion the imposter had, which I think is only obvious looking back. Oh, oh, hmm. That's a good point. You know, today I was like, I was not at home because I had an appointment or whatever. And a guy came to me. It was like because he was selling something like you can buy like some kind of like membership, but it's like to give money to associations and things like that. And I do give sometimes to associations, but I don't like when it's like a monthly automatic thing. I just give it when I can. And the guy was like, "Yeah, and you are a woman, and we also fight for human women's rights and." You don't have it felt just so odd to whatever, it was so random, just with feminism, whatever. But yeah, let's go through that. I don't know why I started with that, but so we got 4 responses, but here we got 3 for was it your first time reading the book, and it's yeah. Was anyone rereading it? I don't think so. I don't think anyone was rereading it. In what format? 1 audiobook, 2 physical books. I'm just gonna go through these, but I have my scores as a homework to hand. Thank you. Thank you. If you listen to the audiobook, how would you rate the narrator? 4 stars. Nice. No stars on the narrator. Did you finish the book? Everyone here has. Okay, so characters. Yeah. Fair. Yeah, you're supposed to call me thewildsasha at gmail.com or at gmail.com for short. Just so weird. Okay, so for characters, wow, we got a 9. I mean, 2 9s and 1 7. Honestly, Wolves, I have no idea how I would um rate that book. Um, I know I don't have freaking clue how to rate that book. I love the main one, City. Oh my gosh. I think I would go for seven, 6 or 7. Nice. Oh my gosh. I think I would go for 6 because they were not bad, but I did not love them. I think I have to go with 6. I know, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Atmosphere, maybe 8 for characters. Interesting. For atmosphere, we have 1 9, pretty high, and 2 8. Am I gonna be like the person who's gonna bring down the score here? Oh my gosh, I don't think I would go. Ah, maybe a 6. It's gonna be a 6 for me. In the last Howling Pack Book Club live show for the Bunchard Daughter, I was the other hero. But that's fine. We love all different opinions. We love them. We love them. 8 for you. Interesting. I think it's gonna be just like many 6s for me because it felt just average. I know you're all gonna hate me. Not all of you, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm impressed. It's pretty high. Writing style, we got 1 9 and 2 8s. I don't think the writing style did work for me. So I might go for another 6. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Probably gonna be like the setting. Okay, 9. I think the foreignness of the setting came through Hans a good atmosphere. Nice. I love that. 9. 8. All doing writing style was an 8 for me because it worked for me having the greatest space. I just love like all the different ratings, how we're all on a different page. Just love it. Salty Sasha feels guilty for the salt. It's not even that. I just feel guilty because I don't like I have not enjoyed the book, but I don't have strong feelings regarding it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just like blank. Like I'm like so beige about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like even hating it. Then I could rant about it and be like, who I hated that and I hated that. You know how sometimes you can be passionate about a rating, like about having like a rate about rating, about like hating a book and saying everything that was wrong with it and blah blah blah. But I just feel meh. I nothing special. Yes, the atmosphere was high for me because of Egyptian steampunk vibe. Really worked for me. Nice. I'm happy. I never know how to rate writing. The way I do rate writing is in a way that it was easily read by me. I did not have much trouble understanding and enjoying like the writing if it was like it felt very natural, for instance with lots of dialogues or like vocabulary. I mean, again, it's weird because English is not my first language, blah blah blah. Like sometimes, you know, the writing is too sophisticated for me or too flowery, too descriptive and not enough like actions or whatever, like this description of like, I don't know, the house for 20 pages, and then when there is a battle scene it's just like 1 page, just like how I enjoyed the way it was told to me, narrated to me. You know, that's how I do. So if I had a fun time reading it, I didn't like have trouble understanding it, or I had my ideas straight or I understood what was going on, usually it's a good sign. Um, but yeah, that's how I do it. I don't know if that makes sense. Saying you're beige about a book. I mean, I probably just made that up. I'm pretty sure you cannot say that, but you know how you say like it's beige, like it's vanilla. You know, it's like it's you know, it's just like 20 pages hard. Yeah, but the thing is that sometimes it makes sense in books, sometimes it doesn't make sense. You know, and in Lord of the Rings, it does make sense. Writing style might impact how I read the book, skimming or take my time over it. Yeah, I like it. You can definitely say it. I need more words to express. No. I mean, I would say beige. Beige is like, you know, we call Riley in Buffy the Vampire Slayer beige boy. Oh my god, scores. See? Why not? Why not? It works. So yeah, writing style with it. So the plot 1-8, 1-7, 1-6. Okay, so the plot goes down a little bit. That's also interesting because the world seems that it was more interesting than the actual plot. Plot was a 7. Somebody wanted the mystical artifact that summons God, and we bounced from scene to scene like a movie. Okay. Absolutely fair. Absolutely, like you already said it. I love the way you described it, like scene to scene, like a movie. Um, what do you mean? Is yours the 6? um, but yeah, I think that for me it would be another 6. Is that a surprise? I'm a 6 today. Okay. Next one we have intrigue. Okay. 9, 8, 6. Mine's gonna be a 6 as well. Again, the difference between plot is like the way, like what was like structuring the book, like the whole thing that was supposed to be like the main storyline, and then the intrigue is how it is revealed, unboxed. If I was actually intrigued, if I actually cared enough about the plot line, if that makes sense, um, which I was not really. So 6 is pretty generous. I think the enjoyment is going to be like a 5. Intrigue 8 because there was a mystery and events we didn't understand, but the layers were unraveled like an onion. I was intrigued. The angels were very interesting. Yeah, and they kind of threw me off for some reason. Like, just the thing is that it made sense in the story. It made sense in the whole like origins and everything. Um, but whenever you say angels, I'm just like, oh, I just have that reaction. I don't know why, but whenever you say angels, I'm just, oh, that's a reaction I have. I cannot control it. But yeah, 6 again, and that's generous. As I always say, I don't care who did it. My colleague called me the ooh. I bet you were not happy about it. The angels are a big part of that Djinn. Yeah, no, angel. It absolutely makes sense to have them in the story, which like for so many reasons, like it made sense in other books that I had read. but I just have something with angels. I'm just not. Leave me with all the demons in the world. I find them so much more interesting, um, for some reasons, than angels. And even when the angels are actually interesting, I just thought, ugh, but I don't know why. It's just the word. I have a problem with the word. My brain is fucked. I agree about regular angels, gods, and demons usually make me go, ugh. Yeah, exactly. But they were great here. Like they were intriguing and everything. Um, it's just that the word, I think, is the word and the image that I have of angels in my head, probably. I usually don't like angels either. These one felt a bit, yeah, especially because someone actually said, "Oh, angels, is that what they're calling themselves?" And yeah, exactly. That's that's what I tried to say. They felt like a bit different and made sense, intriguing, and they added something to the story and blah blah blah. But it's just like angels. I'm just like angels. Yep, I agree. I agree. Next point is logic. We have a 9, we have a 8, we have a 7. I don't really know. I'm probably gonna go with a 6, for the lack of another number. Not that I don't have any, I have them all on my keyboard. But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. I know that. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Sometimes I just like, because the dogs are like so present, because they always like keep you on your toes. And then there is a cat. Her name is Diesel. And sometimes I would just like move your head, just because you look around and I just see those yellowish eyes in the dark. I'm just like, what? Just forget for 1 second that, not forget about her, but just forget that she might be there, because usually she's on the couch on us, like sleeping all the time. And just like, I know. Much more political with okay, do you say machinations or machinations? Oh my god, I don't. Wait. Uh, machinations. The first things that appear pronunciation. For me, it's machination, but I'm not sure. Wait. Machinations. Machinations. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Logic 7, mystical, magical artifacts that do the thing. Nice. Logic is my least favorite callback category. I never know. The thing, I repeat myself because that's the way it works for me, but I don't know if that makes sense. It's just as within the world, would that make sense? No, Jess, I'm not gonna give the example of the assassin. I don't know. I don't know if you were even thinking about that, but every time I give the same example. So let's try to take another one. Um, like, let's say there is like a poison fruit on the table, and there is someone who always eats whatever they can find, and that day they feel like, oh no, I don't want to eat, I'm not hungry. It's so illogical, because in every single scene in the book they do eat, and in that scene when there is something poisonous, they don't eat it. It doesn't make sense. It did not make sense, because they didn't know it was poisonous, they didn't feel sick, they just didn't want it, and it did not make sense. Yes, you could say that they felt like they should not, blah blah blah. That was actually not a good example. But something that doesn't make sense in a way that's in this world did not make sense. Or like, if the magic was always used, like the magic in some way, let's say that the magic can only do one type of thing, and now all of a sudden, because they are about to die, whatever, the thing can do something completely different. It would not always make sense, or it would be too convenient, or things like that. So that's logic for me. Or if you see a character that's very, very, very shy, and then at one point they do rule the world, etc., without any character development, I would call it illogical or something. I don't know. It's just like a feeling, I guess. Second option. No, that's where the real salty Sasha lives. Hungry, careless assassins. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, that's my interpretation of logic. I can be salty sometimes. That book will haunt me forever. Honestly, it was so like, ugh. But yeah. So that's the logic. Enjoyment. Okay. 110, 1 8, and 1 7. Okay, okay. So 10, 8, 7. Mine's gonna be a 5, but you didn't hear it from me. And now I see 3 stars average, like 5.86, and I'm kind of disappointed because I would have given it 2 stars. So I'm just like, have I been too generous here? I will think on it. Enjoyment. I think it's really clear by now that I had an unexpectedly good time and loved quite a few characters, both human and djinns. Yes, absolutely. And I'm happy you did. And I'm happy you did. Good thing you didn't get to the book where people can mix fuse the magic for I don't know reasons. No, the thing is that you know, you know, I love logic, and I do love some kind of illogic in books, especially in a like nonsense wicked kind of world. But even the illogic side of like Alice in Wonderland still kind of is logical in a sense. I don't know how to explain it. It's amazing. Yeah. This is why my co-file doesn't work for me. I know my rating without the system, and the system sometimes disagrees. Yeah, I think for me it's more of a like but if I think for me the writing style should have maybe been a 5. Then it's still a 3. If everything is 5, it will still be a 3, I think. Wait. I'm just gonna test. I wanted to. I wanted to. Oh my gosh, wait. No, everything, even if everything has a 5, it's still a 3 stars. No! I wanted to be. Oh my god, that's a fail. That's a fail. I already had 3 books of the 6 Howling Pack book club picks for the first half of the year. I'm unsure about Cahill didn't want to read Chambers, so this was a wild card pick from this first batch. Nice, and well, it was a good one. You enjoyed it, so. But you expect the nonsense going in. That's when it's exactly. It made sense. Like it was part of the story, so it made sense. I'm starting to have differentiating flags between 0 5 stars now. This has been unlocked by and lets me tune my rankings very nicely. I love that. I love that. Sasha, yeah, but I need to give it like the enjoyment's gonna be a 4. It still has 3 stars. Come on, we have an average of 4.86 out of 10, so it's not even half, and we still get a 3 stars rating. Okay. Now we have a 2 stars. Okay, I agree. Okay, this is a very messy way of using Copapa. I so disagree with the 3 stars because for me it would be like a 2.5, which is like rounded to 2. Because I found it so As I say, I found it beige, like blah blah blah. But I don't think it was like on the good side of it for me. So yes, I did cheat a little bit. My ratings are more like really specific gut feeling sometimes. Yep, I get it. For this one, I felt like it was lower. Oh, my internet is acting up. Please let me know if I'm completely unwatchable. I'm closing some windows, closing some thingies here, hoping it's gonna help. Obviously, oh wait. Oh yeah, when do we get to know the second half of the year picks? So I just checked now. I think you might all have answered for that to the Google form. Because yes, the one picking the books we are reading for the Howling pack are the snowstorms, part of the winter pack, so my patrons. So I'm not deciding on anything. So don't hate me if you're not happy. So I think I'm gonna draw the conclusions tonight or tomorrow. Some of you might have the result as a behind the scenes, kind of like what's going on thingy. But I might film the video officially or tomorrow or next weekend. But by mid May, you should have, like in a week or so, you should have the results, like publicly. Or in 2 weeks, you should have the results. So it gives 1 month and something to actually get some of the books you want. Obviously, I meant to type 0.5 stars. Sorry, no worries. No worries at all. 2.5 is a top. Stop reading this author score for me. 3, and I'll keep reading the author. 4, and I'll buy their books in paperback. So this one is an exception because it's not a regular genre. Yeah. I can give you 2.5 and still read other books. Wait. Oh, wait. Where am I? Oh, no, I'm not in the. I was scrolling and not seeing what you were saying. Sorry. Overall rating. So we got a 3, we got a 4, we got a 5, and we got a 2 from me. um. Okay, so let's go into the comments to wrap this up. I think it's the longest we've been. The less I have to say about a book, the more we are here. That's completely illogical. Illogical. Okay, so I read all 3 short stories first and really enjoyed these smaller samples of the work, and I feel like those might have worked better for me than the long length of this one. I didn't know how I would feel about the steampunk elements, but I ended up really enjoying the combination of steampunk and an Arabic setting. It resulted in a very interesting world that I just really loved finding out about. The alternate history element was also a nice addition and added an interesting layer to certain discussions on power rules. Good point. Where this one lost me is in the detective story. I don't like detectives and why I could deal in a short page length. In a longer work like this, my lack of intrigue really showed. Aside from that, I'm mainly a character focused reader, and while I like these characters, it is not like we do a lot of diving into their past or inner world. Exactly. Overall, I say I had a good time with this, but it's not one that ended up exciting me or that I see staying with me for long. I guess we know who wrote this, and it's actually like I mean, I have not. Oh, no, I'm so freaking sad that I have not actually read or listened to the short stories because honestly, it feels like everyone have enjoyed them way more, or enjoyed the short stories more than the actual novel, or enjoyed the novel thanks to the short stories. And that's why sometimes I feel like it should be mentioned somewhere, whether it's on like Storygraph or like on Goodreads or whatever, that it is recommended to um maybe listen or read the short stories, etc., before diving into that one, just like a as a like, hey, by the way, I would suggest you to blah blah blah, that's it. But yeah, I can guess you who you, I mean, I think it's so very anonymous. Oh, me, I guess so. So it makes sense, it makes sense. And I agree for the of diving into the past or in the world. That's why I do love the walking, because when there is nothing else to do than walking, I mean, you can talk and get to know them. Okay. Really pleased that I read the prequel short stories first of all, because they all integrated back into the main novel. And I was absolutely delighted with Abla CD kept turning up, such a fabulous character. An easy to read and fluid writing style, so I was absorbed throughout, despite this not being a typical read for me. Yeah, yeah. We can also guess who wrote that. We always know the clear one. Yes, working for the win. Who wrote that comment? Like, really? Who? Who? Big fan of working here too. Yeah. Lol. You. It's a lot of you here. Okay. Um, and the last one is I was intrigued and consistently engaged from start to finish. The pacing was just right, and the world building is so immersive. The mystery, fantasy, and sci-fi with a touch of steampunk elements. The banter between Fatma and her partner is realistic and engaging. The side characters were written well, and I thought the interactions between them and Fatma helped us to get to know more about her, as well as the world and the situations around them. The epilogue was priceless. Loved it. Yes. I guess it's who has given the book 5 stars here. I mean, you did say you did a homework too. Moi? I guess so. But yeah, um, how come it says 4 responses and there are 3 responses and everything? Oh, maybe 3 different people, and someone has not shared thoughts. Yes, that will work too. Um, yes, I like that epilogue very much. I feel like it was a nice way of wrapping things, if that makes sense. But still not that much intrigued. Like, if there would be like a sequel, who would pick up the sequel? I don't think I would. Oh, not immediately. I don't know. And that would be my last question for tonight. I don't know. I don't think I would. Very thirsty today. But who would pick a sequel? Not me. Not a surprise. I think we're just two um in this, but we're gonna stick together. Well, thank you for the show and the chat. It makes things very interesting to have this interaction with folks, as I don't get that in real life, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. And that's why I have it. And I'm glad you are enjoying it. And I can hear some little pause. Hello, demon. Oh, wait. Wait, now they can see you. Hey, the demon. That's the demon here. Hello. 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 What's up? It's time for the walkie. It's time for the walkie. Yeah? Is it? What's up, little demon? Oh, you're being a good girl. Me being a good girl. Huh? You have gone so much. But yeah, we were wrapping up. And oh, yeah, what happened? Why are you being so nice? What did you do? um, but what was I saying? Okay. Oh yeah, you're very welcome. I'm happy. I will read anything by this author. Okay. Good point. Interested to see what ninth Rain will bring. I basically suggested in order to be pushed to prioritize it. Well, it's gonna happen. I might depends on what it is based on. The angels probably not. The gin in the jar me. Yeah, yeah, that's also a good point. Depends on what the focus would be on. Um, but yeah, I would read it, but I'm not in a completionist rush to be honest. Okay, so loved it, but maybe not that much. I will procrastinate on the sequel for a long time. Seems a very um, normal thing to do. If he puts out more novellas or short stories, I might pick up more. Exactly. Like if they were to write a series of short novellas or whatever, I might give that series a try because apparently they're good at short stories. So yeah. Nova. Yes, we'll definitely pick up any novellas or short stories he brings out in the world. Yeah. Zagros being grumpy and bookish, a novella. Make ooh, maybe. Maybe. What do you think? You're being too nice. What did you do? Maybe she's just crying out of it. If he writes a sci-fi horror, I'm in. All fair point. Ah, is that Mooney's caller that I'm hearing? She's downstairs waiting for us. But yeah, Wills. I feel like if no one has anything else to add regarding that book, I think we could actually wrap this up because I think she might have done something downstairs. I'm a bit suspicious here. Think so. See? Yeah, even just even. That all time to close up the house for the night here. Oh, good night. Good night. But yeah, well, thank you so much for the conversation tonight. I hope it was still like interesting for you, even though I honestly feel so bad because I don't really have an opinion. As I said, I feel beige about it. It was a beige book. Um, but yeah, hope you had a fun night for the discussions and everything. We have this book for our next read, so The Ninth Rain by Jen Williams. The live show is going to be on Saturday, June 3rd. And yeah, so I'm excited about that one. It sounds like some people said a sublime read. This is fantasy adventure in at its very best. So I'm intrigued, definitely intrigued. And the first sentence here, I mean, it's the second sentence, but now its streets are stalked by wolves. I mean, here wolves are not like acting good animals or good omens or whatever, but it has a mention of wolves. But it's not a, a wolf here, but whatever. I'm actually intrigued by this like high epic fantasy that we're gonna be reading next. So yeah. Night night. I can just say I enjoyed it, but I was never excited about it. Also intrigued. That's the thing, right? We all feel bad about it. I mean, not all. Some of us feel bad about it. It's all welcome. Night night. Yeah, me too. But I'm going to start calling books fish. I mean, if we can, start a new trend here, I'm big fetch of it. You're from Beige Book. Oh, no one would understand. I would need to explain it. I think people would actually understand a beige book. A beige book, whatever your interpretation of it. And then you'll see everyone with a book that actually is beige, and then you will have the pack actually pick a book that's not bad because they know the other interpretation of it. Ooh, good. I will check for me and I will share it on the Discord. But that's good to know. It gives me nothing. I'm so sorry for that. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Maybe not now. Maybe in 2 weeks. But whilst, yeah, thank you for tonight. Thank you for the fun discussions as always. I'm looking forward to meeting you again for our next book on Saturday, June 3rd. But yeah, till next time, till another video, till another live show, or tomorrow, Winter Sprints with the Winter Pack. I don't know what time, 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. So I will share it. But yeah, thank you for the discussion. See you soon. Take care, wolves, and bye bye. Waving with the book.